Good morning, everyone. We are getting started, letting people get settled. But in the meantime, my name is Leah Adrian. I work with Austin Development Services. I am part of the stakeholder and community engagement group here. And today we're going to have Marty Sterrett talk about Chapter 6 of the National Electrical Code changes, the updates. And just to give a little information, so today's session, Marty's going to give a presentation, and we have time allocated at the end for Q&A. So you can either hold your question to the end, raise your hand and ask it, especially if it's a little more nuanced. But if you think of something during the presentation, there should be a Q&A box that you can also type that in, so that way you don't have to remember it if you're like me and have the memory of a squirrel. So actually they have good memories. That's not a good excuse or a good reason. But also just to let everybody know, we have one more class after this. It's next Friday. We're going to have the final overview of chapters 7, 8, and 9, I believe. And the other ones, if you were not able to join us for any of the other sessions, we have those recorded and are adding those to our development services public meetings page. So you can check those out. There's a section that has code updates, and it'll have the previous sessions that were recorded if you need a refresh going forward, or if you have somebody else that was not able to attend. And they're all under an hour. So with that being said, I will pass it over to Marty.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. If you've been with us on some previous sessions, thank you. If it's your first time, a few things I need to discuss. I will try to capture as many changes as I can, but I might miss a few. I will not be covering any medium voltage articles or some of the subtle changes. You will not receive any continuing education credits. This presentation is only informational. And as Leah said, if we got enough time at the end, we'll open it for questions or comments. I will say this was probably a short one, so we should have some time. Next slide. All right, today we're going to talk about the changes in Chapter 6, that's specific equipment. Starting out with Article 220, this is your elevator, dumbwaiters, escalators, moving walks, platform lifts, and stairway chair lifts. All right, so in Article 627C, the GSCI protection for personnel for sump pumps, this article was deleted to eliminate unnecessary duplication, because those requirements are actually in Article 422.5, so there was no need into repeating it in another article. Next slide. Article 22016C, short circuit current rating, available fault current field marking. The new article requires available fault current field marking on elevator control panels. Next slide. Article 620.22A1, branch circuits for car light receptacles, ventilation, heating, and air conditioning, separate branch circuit. The revision requires one dedicated branch circuit per elevator car for lighting. Also, there is some additional items that you can add to this circuit, but it's specifically saying now that you got to have a dedicated branch circuit for your each car lighting. Next slide. 620.51A, disconnecting means. A new exception number 3 was added to address situations where an individual branch circuit powers an elevator control system with an adjustable speed drive. Next slide. Article 620.51E, surge protection. The revision expanded to now require surge protection as an integral part of the elevator system, or be installed immediately adjacent to the disconnecting means. And Article 620, 62B and C, selective coordination for both replacement and modifications. The new article requiring selective coordination to be reevaluated whenever overcurrent protection is replaced or when modifications, additions, or deletions are made to the existing elevator system. Okay, Article 624, electric self-propelled vehicle power transfer systems. Okay, this is a brand new article. Uh, we kind of discussed a little bit when we went over Article 100 definition of these particular types of vehicles. So this discusses the new technology related to electrical vehicles that do not meet the Article 100 definition of electrical vehicle. That could be like, your electric forklifts, or as we're showing here, electric golf cart, those types of vehicles. Article 625, electrical vehicle power transfer system. Next slide. So this is a big one. Article 625.4, qualified persons. So the new article requires permanently installed EVSE equipment to be installed by qualified persons. So that means like if you're a homeowner, you're not going to be able to install this, but a qualified person would be somebody that's trained in this particular installation. Next slide. Article 625.5, field markings. The new text was added to require EVSE to be permanently marked with the necessary information for proper installation of the supply circuit and determining the equipment circuit current rating. Excuse me. Next slide. Article 225.41, continuous load. The revision clarifies and enforces the application of continuous load requirements to all WPTE and EVSE, including those bi-directional devices. In 625.42 rating, this revision improves clarity by explicitly requiring supply conductors to be rated for the EVSE unless a power control system or an adjustable EVSE is used to limit demand. And then part of that power control system, this article was revised, Article 625.42A. The revision aligns the code with current technology practices in load management. Next slide. 42B, EVSE with adjustable settings. The revision offers flexibility for EVSE installation by recognizing adjustable output settings as long as adjustments are secure, properly labeled, and performed by qualified personnel. All right, in Article 625.43, disconnecting means there's several new revisions in this article. It ensures that disconnecting means are properly rated, accessible, clearly marked, and field verifiable. Next slide. This is a big one. This is probably in the top 10 of most everybody that's looked at the changes. Article 625.43D, emergency shutoff. So permanently connected, keyword permanently connected, EVSEs for other than 1 and 2 family dwelling settings must include an emergency shutoff device located no closer than 20 feet and no farther than 100 feet from the equipment and clearly marked. So this is kind of similar to like a gas pump is at a gas station. Now you could also use the disconnect if it meets these conditions, if it's uh, within that 20, 100 feet. But if you do a lot of these installations like in apartment complexes or kind of what we see here, one of these charging stations that are remotely at remote locations, starting at 26, you will have to have that emergency shut-off device installed. Next slide. This one is another one, top one. Those that install these electric car chargers need to be really aware of this article. The revision adds text to specify that the attachment plug for cord and plug connect equipment must be rated at 125% of the equipment's maximum rating, and this is key right here, and to prohibit installing a 50 amp receptacle on a 40 amp circuit. Also, receptacle requirements were expanded to include 277-volt receptacles, and receptacles have to be listed for either EVSE, I mean, excuse me, for EVSE and WPTE use. I did hear from one contractor that they've already started buying these. So just make sure that if you install these receptacles, that they're listed for those their uses. Next slide. Uh, Article 625-56 receptacle enclosures. This article was removed related to receptacles at wet location because it's already covered in Article 406. Okay, Article 645, information technology equipment. 645-27, selective coordination. The revision formalizes and broadens the requirements to ensure selective coordination throughout the entire lifespan of critical operations data centers. Article 680, swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations. Excuse me. Article 685B, ground fault circuit interrupter and special purpose ground fault circuit interrupter protection, 150 volts or less to ground. The revision increases Class A GFCI protection for receptacles and outlets supplied by a branch circuit rated 150 volts or less to ground to 100 amps or less three-phase. Just a slight increase. Article 680-22B. This is your lighting receptacles and equipment, luminaires, lighting outlets, festoon lighting, and ceiling suspended paddle fans. The revision adds festoon lighting to the outdoor clearance requirements. I'll be honest, as an inspector, I always called these luminaires. So we was kind of already enforcing that here in Austin, but it specifically now calls it the festoon lighting. There was probably some debates on whether festoon lighting was considered a luminaire, but now it specifically calls out festoon lighting. Next slide. 680-26B2, equipotential bonding perimeter surfaces. There's a whole lot of changes in this article. I don't have really the time to go over all of them. If you do swimming pool installations, I suggest you really look at this article. There was a tentative interim amendment back in 2022, I believe, where they kind of changed up some of the perimeter bonding requirements. So, like I said, if you really install these, you really need to look at this article because there's a lot of different perimeter bonding requirements. But one of the main things is the revision increases the perimeter bonding height requirement from 2 feet to 3 feet below and above the maximum water level. Next slide. Part three, storable pools, storable spas, storable hot tubs, and storable immersion pools. General additional requirements, 68030B. This article requiring a storable pool assembled on site that abuts a permanent deck that encloses all or a portion of the pool's perimeter and is intended to provide access must meet the equipotential bonding requirements in Article 68026. So this is a big one. Even though you have a portable pool, if you're installing it next to a deck, a permanent deck, then you're going to have to adhere to those equipotential bonding requirements. Next slide. Article 682, natural and artificially made bodies of water. So in Article 682.33A, the equipotential plane construction and bonding, the revision states that equipotential planes around service equipment and disconnecting means extend 36 inches in all directions from the equipment. So you'll have to provide the equipotential bonding in these areas. Okay, Article 690, solar photovoltaic systems, PV systems. So at Article 690.7A, maximum DC voltage, PV source circuits, the revision clarifies that this article is only specific to DC voltages and the 100 kilowatt inverter generating capacity threshold was removed, allowing engineered calculations to be used on any PV system. Next slide. Article 690.8A1, circuit sizing and current PV system circuits. The new A1A2 recognizes that listing instructions may provide a different method of max current calculation than is required in 1A1. The 100 kilowatt inverter generating capacity threshold was removed from the list item number 3. In Article 690.12, the rapid shutdown of PV systems on buildings, several revisions were made to Section B and C to clarify and reorganize requirements. One of the requirement for on or off was removed to allow for emergency stop, which are called e-stop switches. It's a lot more clarity. It's clarified a little bit better now. Next slide. 690.13, your PV system disconnecting means. The revision adds language that refers to 705.20 due to the use of multiple power sources on the same premises. This will help harmonize the source system disconnecting means. And Article 690.31B1, wiring system conductors of different systems, the list items 1 through 4. The revision deletes the previous 3 exceptions and adds new language to the list items. These marking requirements apply to all PV DC circuit conductors, not just those from the PV power source output. Next slide. 690.33C mating connectors. The revision includes documentation requirement from both manufacturers when mating connectors. So if you have one manufacturer for one device and another manufacturer for the other device, you're gonna have to make sure that these are both compatible. So you'll have to I have the documentation that says so. Next slide. 690.41b, PV system DC circuit grounding and protection, direct current ground fault detector interrupter protection. The revision clarifies that when ground fault detector interrupter functionality is not built into an electronic converter or related PV equipment, the ground fault detection and interruption protection must be provided for the entire circuit and be listed for the specific equipment combination. Next slide. 690.47a, the grounding electrode system, buildings or structures supporting PV systems. The revision changes the grounding electrode system requirements to restore the reference to part 3 of Article 250. So now they're sending you back to Article 250 instead of having the same information for both articles. Next slide. Article 692, fuel cell systems. So 692.7, maximum voltage. The new article creates a new maximum voltage limit for fuel cell systems in buildings. It'll be 600 volts in one or two family dwellings and 1,000 volts for other buildings. Article 695, fire pumps. Next slide. Okay, so this is it's a big one. 695.7A2, your power wiring feeder supply conductors. So a revision to the concrete encasement of feeder conductors inside of a building. If this method is used, there are two choices. So you can continue to install the 2-inch concrete encasement only if a fire-resistant concrete design engineer validates that the installation achieves a 2-hour rating. Otherwise, you're going to have to install 5 inches of concrete encasement measured from the surface of the cable or raceway. So I also want to point out that there's 3 other options for power wiring feeder supply conductors, and I'm actually going to read those out of the code. So you can either concrete encase them, where you would have to adhere to either one of these 2 items, or the cable or raceway can be part of a listed fire-resistant cable system, or the cable or raceway is protected by a listed electrical circuit protective system, or install it underground. So you have several choices here, but if you do decide to use the 2-inch concrete encasement, if you're going to use 2 inches, you'll have to get a concrete design engineer to validate that it achieves the 2-hour rating. Otherwise, you're going to have to encase it 5 inches of concrete. Next slide. All right, that's it for today.
Well, you weren't kidding. That was a
Yeah, it was a short one.
yeah. Seems like there are some big changes in this one, but not necessarily something to dive into today. Well, we have plenty of time. If anybody has any questions, you are welcome to raise your hand now, or you can put something in the chat. But while we're waiting to see if anyone has questions, I'll just say we have an engagement survey. That's one on the left if you want to check that out and tell us how we did today. And then also to register for that final class, which is next Friday because Monday is a holiday. But yeah, we'll wait just a minute and see if anybody needs any or has any questions on that material. But if not, then we will wrap things up
uh,
quickly today. Oh,
I
hi,
will.
Marty.
Yeah, I just want to add too that yes, next week, besides chapter 7, 8, 9, and the annexes, I'll also look at the technical amendments to the City of Austin electrical ordinance. We now have we'll have four technical amendments, so I'll also share those. And then I want to personally thank everybody that attended today, and hope everybody has a good Memorial Day weekend.
Yep, stay safe, be careful, turn around, don't drown, all that good stuff. But okay, well, I think I don't see any hands raised or anything in the Q&A, so thank you again for coming out, and we will see you next time. Thank you.